Holy shit. He said what?
I want to play you the first of these South Park clips and get you to react.
A postcard today from your Uncle Harry and Aunt Meghan in LA.
Let me see that. What the hell are they doing in LA anyway?
Oh, pull it up, Jamie. Who's filming this?
This one brilliantly exposes some of the Sussexes' laughable hypocrisy. Watch.
It's a really good platform to promote my brand.
What is your brand?
I'm opening this cylinder now. If you're watching, what a ta-da!
It tastes of entitlement, greed, avarice and deception.
It's the biggest piece of dog
This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment, so.
Yes, an apartment palace, I know that.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
Behind the guarded walls of Montecito, Meghan Markle isn't exactly living the quiet, serene life you'd imagine. Instead, she's reportedly in full-on crisis mode. Think legal teams, stacks of paperwork, and what insiders are calling the velvet hammer. Why all the drama? Because South Park may have just pushed the wrong buttons.
Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me.
Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy.
5 minutes later.
I like working hard.
The show's recent takedown of Meghan and Harry was anything but subtle. And let's be honest, it was brutal and hilarious. Remember the chant?
We want privacy! We want privacy! Can we rally him up here and finally have our own privacy? My love, I will do anything for your privacy.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that one's already being memed into oblivion. Now, word on the street is that Meghan's camp is weighing legal action. Not shocked considering their track record of clapping back at, well, just about everything, especially when there's a grain of truth involved. And get this, there's already buzz about an upcoming parody called Respect Our Pregnancy that's reportedly making the royals squirm before it's even hit the air. From Hollywood boardrooms to the halls of Westminster, whispers are growing louder.
I went online to see what was new with Uncle Harry and Auntie Meghan, and I couldn't find a thing. I would have thought she'd have at least popped up in a tampon commercial by now.
10 seconds later.
That man loves me so much. He's also a fox.
Meghan Markle is reportedly preparing what insiders are calling a tactical legal nuke. The targets? South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, Paramount, and even the show's top sponsors. But here's where it gets juicy. South Park, the show that's gone after everyone from Scientologists to sitting presidents, apparently caught wind of Meghan's rumored lawsuit. During a low-key Friday morning sound mix, an assistant producer allegedly read off the potential claims: defamation, prenatal harassment, emotional distress. Classic. Trey Parker, he just laughed, turned to Matt Stone and said, "We just sold out our first ad slot." Translation: they're not exactly shaking in their boots.
I have an idea. I was thinking of maybe hosting a little group trip. What would you think about going to London to visit my in-laws?
Buckingham Palace? Yes, please.
You can't sue a cartoon. It's satire. It is what it is. South Park has done episodes on the royal family, on the royal wedding of Kate and William, for instance. So it's not something that they would be able to sue about. And I generally just don't believe it, really.
Meanwhile, back at Meghan's Montecito estate, things are looking a lot more serious. Staff insiders claim a tense late-night meeting ended with a thick stack of papers fresh off the printer. At the top of each one, legal threat in bold, screaming font, waiting for her signature. No names, no dates, just placeholders, like legal ammo locked and loaded. According to insiders, Meghan's draft memo pulls out every dramatic allegation in the book: emotional trauma, false light, and yes, something called prenatal harassment, which, let's be honest, sounds more like a scrapped South Park episode than a real legal term.
Chitto, listen to this. Meghan Markle to join the 11th season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Ugh, so thirsty for any kind of attention. I would die before I would be on her reality show.
Your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
I've read Spare. I've read it cover to cover. They are a damaged couple. They are people in trauma.
The document reportedly kicks off with a line straight out of a court courtroom drama. Our client respectfully demands immediate cessation of all defamatory depictions. From there, it spirals into a dizzying mix of British legal jargon, peppered with terms no U.S. judge would blink at. One LA defamation specialist, who allegedly got a glimpse of the memo, described it as a bizarre blend of royal proclamation and Harvard Law School overkill. Footnotes and all, complete with references to UK court rulings that hold zero weight across the Atlantic. And yet, nothing official has hit the courts. Not a single filing. That's what's making this feel less like a lawsuit and more like the legal version of a Mexican standoff.
Meghan texted me to ask if she could film her show here. I'd die of embarrassment if I were on that show. I can't think of anything worse.
The minute you sign a $100 million deal with Spotify and now you're posting yourself twerking, oh, this is getting worse, this video.
Meghan's camp might be bluffing, leaking draft memos and whispering about sponsor pressure to rattle nerves before the parody even airs. Industry insiders are calling it a Yuri shadow blitz. Throw out just enough legal smoke and maybe, just maybe, Paramount gets cold feet. Maybe sponsors start sweating. Maybe South Park backs off. But here's the catch. South Park doesn't flinch, ever. Ask Tom Cruise. Ask Scientology. Ask half of Hollywood. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are basically allergic to threats and obsessed with turning lawsuits into punchlines. Sources say they're already doubling down.
What the f*** is going on with Harry?
How dare you?
I'll say whatever I want. You're in my house now.
You want a piece of me?
I will f*** you up, girlie.
The focus is starting to shift off of me.
The revised parody reportedly includes a scroll across the screen titled Notice of Hurt Feelings, right, signed by the Duchess of Dismay. It allegedly includes lines about being misunderstood, followed by a Jam brand commercial while belly dancing. Pregnant, cartoon style. Back in Montecito, though, Meghan's own team is reportedly divided. Some say go big, file the suit, show strength, make it loud. Others, not so sure. Some in Meghan's inner circle want to make it hurt, but others are hitting the brakes hard because the moment she files that lawsuit, she cracks the door wide open to legal discovery. That means emails, texts, call logs, maybe even private footage. All fair game. And if you think South Park won't gleefully mine that for future episodes, you clearly haven't been watching long enough. One leaked PowerPoint slide from her so-called strategy room reportedly lays out 3 options. Number 1, file and fight. Number 2, bluff and stall. Number 3, pivot with a cheeky Instagram reel about positivity and jam.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
The Duchess of Sussex shared a photo of herself cuddling her daughter on Instagram and a never-before-seen picture from her birth.
Meanwhile, the clock's ticking. Paramount's legal team is reportedly in standby mode. The South Park writers sharpening their pencils and their punchlines. Meghan's printer still warm, ink fresh on that stack of unsigned drafts. So here's the only question left. Will she pull the trigger or let the satire fly and risk becoming the punchline of the year? While Meghan's legal team argues over footnotes and filing fees, the rest of Hollywood is watching like it's the evening weather report. Cloudy with a 90% chance of subpoenas. At Paramount HQ, no panic, just popcorn. And over at South Park Studios, the mood is reportedly downright gleeful. One insider claims the writers even launched a new Slack channel titled Operation Bring It, loaded with memes, draft jokes, and celebratory gifts. Confidence level off the charts, but not everyone's lap. Across town at Netflix, the reaction is a little more tense.
Meghan texted me to ask if she could film her show here. I'd die of embarrassment if I were on that show. I can't think of anything worse.
The couple have been begging for privacy, and South Park has done a parody of this, and apparently it has really upset Meghan Markle.
While they have nothing to do with South Park, they have everything riding on Meghan's image, especially with Harry and Meghan Season 2 still simmering in development. The fear, if Meghan files, the media circus doesn't just roll in, it builds a tent city. Suddenly, anything even remotely linked to her name becomes headline bait, and that includes Netflix's carefully crafted branding and their marketing dollars. One exec summed it up perfectly. Correlation drag. That's when one raging fire pulls your entire content slate into the smoke. And right now, the heat around Meghan is starting to singe more than just headlines. Even sponsors are getting twitchy. A major consumer tech brand, originally set to underwrite South Park's upcoming DEI special, reportedly backed off, asking for a brand-safe repackage. Quietly, carefully. But in true South Park fashion, the vacuum didn't last long. An edgy energy drink startup jumped at the chance to step in, betting that controversy is the rocket fuel their brand needs to go viral.
Hey.
Did you know it's cold in there?
Yeah.
Must be an American thing.
It's not.
But wait, watch this. Amazing, right?
They don't want attention. This is just so attention. This is all about her.
Right.
It's not about Lilibet.
She's apparently spent days being upset and overwhelmed, according to sources, over this parody, which picks apart all of their publicity blitz while at the same time begging privacy.
As one insider joked, Legacy Cash fears lawsuits. Disruptor Cash buys them by the dozen. Meanwhile, behind Meghan's polished public image, her team is scrambling to patch the leaks before a single court date even hits the calendar. Her business strategy group recently dusted off what staff are now calling the seesaw slide, a grim Excel forecast weighing legal costs, brand fallout, and the ever-looming question, will the jam still sell? It's a full-blown mess. Legal costs alone could soar to $1.8 million just to survive an anti-slap motion in California. And if the case moves into discovery, that burn rate could shoot past $4 million before anyone even steps foot in a courtroom. And that's before appeals, before PR fallout, before the headlines start writing themselves. Even the insurance companies are backing away. Meghan's lifestyle brand's current liability policy doesn't cover lawsuits over satire, and now underwriters are demanding a 42% premium hike just to stay in the game.
Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? So you hate journalists. That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. So you're a journalist.
Meghan, it's just like we see right through your fake behavior, and no amount of saying how kind you are is going to make people think, oh, isn't she so kind? All of the nasty things you have done, we know.
One insurer reportedly put it bluntly to her financial advisor. If you want to chase cartoons, pay up front. Still, Meghan has options. Her crisis PR team floated a softer strategy, a lighthearted video of her making tea, smiling, maybe even laughing off the whole thing. The suggested caption, laughter is nourishing. But behind closed doors, the team's calling it hug the punchline, and not everyone's convinced. Some aides are seriously worried that turning this into a joke now just makes it easier for South Park to hit harder later. It's a tightrope, and Meghan knows it. That tea sipping video, to some, it screams damage control. To others, it looks like she caved. And worse, it's basically handing South Park the script for their next episode. But the real drama, it's not just outside the gates, it's inside them. Sources say there's growing tension between Meghan and Harry. Harry reportedly pitched a middle ground solution: post a short, calm video defending free speech, pivot to promoting the Invictus Games, and just ignore South Park completely. Meghan's response? Allegedly an eye roll followed by a cutting question. How many of your Invictus posts have gone viral? Yeah, ouch.
It makes them newsworthy. So you either then ignore what people are talking about and debating and having all the silly stuff about the fake pump and so on, or you embrace it and we do a debate and it's always the same stuff, right? You two are never going to give an inch. I'm never going to give an inch the other way. We're losing time from our lives. We're never going to get back with these people.
These two are now an international embarrassment for the royal family, and I really, really do think that the time has come to strip the titles.
Meanwhile, the internet isn't waiting for a verdict. Hashtags like on make suit and respect parody are exploding. AI-generated courtroom sketches, spoof subpoenas, and viral meme merch are everywhere. Etsy shops are even selling limited edition cease and desist hoodies. Someone even launched a crypto token, called Twerk, tied to parody headlines from the Meghan saga. It surged 400% hits in a single day, before crashing hard when rumors spread that Meghan's legal team had issued a cease and desist. Digital chaos, royal edition. Now even politicians are getting in on the spectacle. A Texas senator slammed the rumored lawsuit as a direct hit on the First Amendment. Meanwhile, a UK MP called the whole ordeal a royal tantrum in 3 acts. Cable news panels are turning it into sport. Legal pundits openly betting on whether Meghan will actually file and how fast the case would get tossed if she does. Odds are being discussed like it's fight night in Vegas, and through it all, South Park's production team is absolutely thriving. Internally, they have reportedly dubbed Meghan the muse of the decade. Their unofficial motto, if she sues, we sequel, celebrate. If she doesn't, we still air it. That's the word from South Park's camp. Either way, the episode's going live. They're just waiting to hit play.
They're putting themselves on the world stage using expensive PR while demanding privacy, while writing books, while being on Oprah that had 50 million viewers. People who want privacy don't do that. You live your life quietly in privacy. So it's such hypocrisy. I think they did a brilliant job.
Harry last year wrote a book called Spare, which smashed his brother, his father, his mother-in-law, his sister-in-law, the media, and many, many others in one giant whinge.
It was just sterile and awful, and I hate her. I'm so sorry, I really do.
Now, I don't know what he and his wife expected from this. Was it pity, sympathy at their hard lot? wife, or just the millions of dollars they've earned from betraying Harry's family.
On the 12th floor of a sleek glass tower in Santa Monica. Meanwhile, across town, Meghan's CFO is presenting what might be the most sobering deck in her career. On screen, a 4-column breakdown swaying like a seesaw: legal costs, investor confidence, sponsor pullback, projected sales. Every line item hinges on one decision: file or fold. She doesn't sugarcoat it. If we sue and lose, she says, we're not just down money, we're down leverage, down brand equity, down everything. The room goes quiet. At the center of the table, a thick binder packed with polling data. One statistic is circled in red. It says everything. 42%. That's how many casual US viewers already think Meghan's lawsuit has been filed. And that perception alone, it's tanking sentiment before anything has even happened. In the corner of the room, someone from the brand team mutters the quiet part out loud. We're basically fueling South Park's trailer for free. Meanwhile, a nearby warehouse is stacked wall to wall with pallets of unsold jam, a silent reminder of what's really at stake. Marketing is prepping for both scenarios. If Meghan pulls the trigger, they've got talking points, curated sympathy posts, and a soft focus video ready to spin the narrative into empowerment. If she doesn't, a flash sale campaign titled Grace Under Fire is locked and loaded. Even the jar stickers have been color-coded. One set for resilience, the other for damage control. Green means it's safe for press. Yellow, proceed with caution, there's a real risk of mockery. Red, that's full-blown lawyer bait.
And then that whole provocative dancing, that skanky coochie hoochie dancing that she is doing is disgusting. Sit your butt down acting like that. The royal family should be ashamed of this woman, because a duchess, someone with a title, does not behave this way in public.
But the stakes aren't just financial. A key Napa Vineyard deal, crucial to Meghan's upcoming rosé line, has quietly hit pause, waiting until the legal fog clears. Meanwhile, a major London department store is holding off on stocking her lifestyle products until they get indemnity from any backlash tied to parody fallout. Even a potential podcast network partner has slipped in a new clause, shielding themselves from any blowback connected to animated satire happening 3,000 miles away. On the other end of the spectrum, Paramount's legal team is running like a well-oiled meme machine. Their confidence isn't just rooted in First Amendment protections, it's built on nearly 3 decades of surviving lawsuits, threats, and full-scale media storms. Inside their offices, they know the drill, and they've got the case history receipts to prove it. Framed on the wall of Paramount's legal office is a quote from Hustler Falwell. Public figures can't sue for hurt feelings. That's the blueprint. If Meghan files, the response is immediate. File an anti-slap motion, crush the case on First Amendment grounds, and go viral in the process. Meanwhile, the South Park writers are reportedly going all in, crafting what some insiders are calling one of the most savage episodes in the show's history. Leaked sketches show a parody scroll titled Notice of Hurt Feelings. Checks, signed in exaggerated cursive by none other than the Duchess of Dismay. One scene features a fictional lawyer dramatically explaining parody law, only to be smacked mid-sentence with a rubber chicken. It's absurd, juvenile, and exactly what South Park fans live for.
Oh God, it looks like a lap dancing club with pregnant women. He's also dancing in front of the camera. She's got a black dress on. She's literally holding her bump and twerking, and she's put this on social media. That's getting worse now.
Back in Montecito, the final hours before the episode airs are slipping away. Inside Meghan's crisis hub, whiteboards are packed with color-coded post-its, each one mapping a potential media narrative. From redemption arcs to PR meltdowns, every outcome is plotted. But one thing's clear, they're out of time. A single countdown clock glows red against the wall, its numbers ticking down toward airtime. The tension in the room is thick. A junior aide steps forward, handing Meghan one last folder, the final draft of the complaint. The signature line stares back at her, still blank. She holds it, pauses. The room is silent. Just outside, Harry scrolls through his phone, detached. Somewhere down the hallway, a printer hums. Someone hits reset on the timer. Again, and then the episode airs. The world doesn't blink, it laughs. Twitter detonates. TikTok stitches flood for you pages. YouTube bursts with reaction videos, commentary, and breakdowns. Meghan's name is everywhere, but not the way her brand deck once dreamed. At the heart of the digital storm is a brutal truth. In the age of internet courts and meme trials, even a duchess can't outrun a cartoon. Decision equals destiny. And this one, it just got written in laughter.
That's a princess? That's not a princess. That's not a duchess.
I mean,
that's a disgrace.
Serious. Royal life isn't just about tiaras and tabloid covers. It's about diplomacy, duty, and deference. It's a system system built on nuanced protocol and deep-rooted cultural history.
The countdown clock glows red against the wall, numbers slipping closer to zero. A junior aide quietly approaches Meghan with a final folder, the draft lawsuit still unsigned. The signature line is blank. She stares at it for a long time. No one says a word. Outside the room, Harry scrolls silently through his phone. Down the hall, a light flickers. Someone resets the timer. Again. Then, airtime hits, and the world doesn't pause. It erupts. Twitter combusts. TikTok stitches crash timelines. YouTube overflows with hot takes, side-by-sides, and stunned reactions. And at the center of the chaos, Meghan's name, but not as her brand deck once imagined it, in soft pastels, empowerment arcs, and product lines. Now, it's flashing across meme pages stitched into satire, captioned by strangers. Because in the age of internet courts and viral trials, even a duchess can't outrun a cartoon. Decision equals destiny. And this one, it didn't end in a courtroom. It ended in a punchline. If you found this wild ride as fascinating as we did, make sure to hit that like button, drop your take in the comments, and subscribe for more sharp takes and celeb showdowns right here on @Star Spotlight.